Streaming live on 10 Tampa Bay Plus. This is 10 Tampa Bay News This Morning.
Now at 7 o'clock, a federal agent hospitalized after an arrest turned into a fight. Why Sheriff Grady Judd is now criticizing Homeland Security.
And time is running out. A Florida teen trapped in an Israeli prison for months. This morning, the urgent pleas from his family and U.S. lawmakers demanding his release. The push to bring him home now reaching a critical moment.
And a once-approved street mural painted at a local school is set to be erased. Why parents are now worried it could impact safety.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Jameson Mueller. You're watching 10 Tampa Bay Plus here at 7 a.m.
I'm Caitlin Lockerbie. It is Wednesday, August 27th, and it's not a rainy Wednesday. Let's get right over to meteorologist Courtney Jacobazzi, who's got a look across the area. Finally, we have some haziness out there, but no showers.
No rain for the morning, but yeah, seeing mostly cloudy skies still across the Bay Area, but some hues of pink out there. The water looking like glass over near Davis Islands this morning and Sarasota. But yes, no rain. We have a few storms offshore of Anna Maria Island, Bradenton, Sarasota, but this stalled front over I-4 bringing in some drier and more pleasant conditions across mainly the Citrus Coast the Nature Coast this morning up towards Citrus County. 77 in West Chase right now, 78 in Tampa, 75 in Seminole, 73 in Trinity, dropped to 72 in Port Richey. But look at this, upper 60s for Homosassa and Brooksville this morning. And the humidity also slightly lower along the Nature Coast. If you want to get the dog for a walk today, mostly dry through the morning, mostly dry through your midday with temperatures in the upper 80s around noon. And then for that evening stroll, maybe an isolated storm with temperatures in the low 90s. Those low 90s won't be oppressively humid, so it's not going to feel quite as uncomfortable. That rain chance mainly along and south of I-4 for the afternoon today. Our rain chances do increase for your upcoming holiday weekend. I'll have more details on that for you coming up shortly, but now it's time for a check of traffic with Sarah Rosario.
Good morning. Looking at traffic this morning, if you're going to be driving here, we do have an incident off of Gandy approaching I-275 this morning. Once you're getting on 275, you are going to see that traffic is moving very nicely for our drivers through portions of Pinellas County. But here's a look at it. Crash investigation here. Gandy, not far from that 275 area. And then we're also looking at some delays along Del Mabry Highway in South Tampa after an incident near Mango Avenue. So heads up about that, headed towards the Air Force Base, not far from that Dollar Tree, the dollar store there through that area. You're going to see some slowdowns. Hello, Hernando County. You're going to be dealing with some fog. Good morning, Brooksville, Spring Hill, Shady Hills, headed towards State Road 52 and I-75. A little bit of a foggy ride right now, seeing some delays along 52. Downtown Tampa, seeing some stop and go traffic right now, not far from I-4, and some crashes popping up, including one in Lakeland. We've been looking at a spun around car there, and delays along 17 and 27, seeing some red. Drivers tapping on their brakes through Davenport. Guys?
Leading us off this morning, the Tampa family of a Palestinian-American boy pleading for his release right now from an Israeli jail. Mohammed Ibrahim's family says he has spent the last 6 months in custody, not being charged with a crime either. He was visiting family in the West Bank for Muslim holidays in the spring when one night, his family says Israeli soldiers came into a home, blindfolded the 16-year-old and took him off to jail. Right now, they're worried because the U.S. Embassy told them he's losing weight and is in poor health.
In the last 6 months, he's lost over 25 pounds. That's almost 25% of his body weight. He's contracted scabies. He has not been able to connect with his family. His situation is dire, and we're calling for his release.
He is the first cousin of Saifullah Musaled, who ran an ice cream shop in Tampa and was killed earlier this year during a territory dispute between his family and Israeli settlers. Congresswoman Kathy Castor has posted on X urging for Ibrahim's release.
Well, right now, Polk County Sheriff Grady Judd is making headlines criticizing Homeland Security as a federal agent recovers this morning. Polk County deputies say a man who was undocumented attacked that agent as they tried to arrest him. It happened early Tuesday morning when Homeland Security agents pulled over a car in Lakeland with Dennis Miranda inside. They'd been tracking Miranda to arrest him on a warrant for deportation. But Polk County Sheriff Grady Judd says Miranda fought with one of the agents for 5 minutes before he was able to escape. Investigators say Miranda then ran to a private business where Polk County deputies arrested him.
We have him under arrest. He's smiling. I bet we've wiped the smile off of his face.
Now, Miranda now faces several felonies, including battery on a law enforcement officer. The federal agent involved has a serious shoulder injury and is expected to recover.
Well, the arrest of Dennis Miranda comes as Sheriff Grady Judd is calling out decision makers at Homeland Security and ICE, even though the sheriff says that he has a great relationship with local agents. The sheriff questioned why his deputies were not called to be backup for a traffic stop that turned into a fight, adding that a request for help wasn't made until after Miranda fled. Judd also made pointed remarks at Homeland Security in D.C., accusing it of trying to poach his deputies by sending personal emails with information that his office routinely sends to the feds.
That was low rent and unprofessional. Kristi Noem needs to get a grip on that.
Miranda is now in federal custody, facing decades in prison for felony charges. Judd says if convicted, he'd serve a possible prison sentence here before being deported to Nicaragua.
7:05 now this morning, a plea deal on pause, and now the family of a DUI victim will have to wait for justice for several more months. Investigators say Kevin Marshall was driving under the influence when he crashed into 26-year-old Anthony Pivacek's vehicle head-on, killing him. Troopers say his blood alcohol level was twice the legal limit. Yesterday, the 26-year-old's family gathered in a Polk County courtroom in hopes that Marshall accepted a plea deal. But that hearing wrapped up in less than 5 minutes without a resolution.
We understand he's fighting for his life. But like I said, he's going home after this sentence, and Anthony's not coming home. So, we don't have any ill will towards him, but honestly, we don't have a lot of love for him either.
The judge set a February 5th deadline for a resolution, or the case will head to trial on February 9th. Marshall's attorney is hopeful a resolution will be met soon. The family says they plan to be back in court when that happens.
Well, this morning, the arrest of a former USF football coach could impact his trip to the university's Hall of Fame. Right now, Jim Leavitt is facing charges in Pinellas County, accused of battery involving his ex-girlfriend. On Tuesday, he was granted a $7,000 bond. St. Pete police say the 68-year-old stole his former partner's Louis Vuitton purse and forcefully grabbed her arm when she tried to get away. Police say then Leavitt pushed another man. He was arrested Monday night. This morning, he's charged with simple battery, domestic battery, and grand theft. Leavitt is slated to be inducted into USF's Athletics Hall of Fame in October. The honor is already surrounded by controversy, though, given his 2010 firing for misconduct. His attorney says the timing not ideal here. USF has not commented on whether the arrest will impact his induction.
Let's get you up to speed now on the biggest headlines this morning in national news. Nearly 24 FEMA employees are on administrative leave this morning after those workers raised concerns to Congress. The Trump administration's cuts reversed all the progress the agency made after Hurricane Katrina. The group is calling for FEMA to become a cabinet-level independent agency. They also want the agency to be protected from political interference. FEMA's acting press secretary said in a statement they're committed to ensuring FEMA delivers for the American people, calling those who raised the concerns bureaucrats who presided over decades of inefficiency.
Well, overnight, President Trump continued his focus on crime, posting on social media that he's working with Republican congressional leaders on a comprehensive crime bill. He's also been floating the idea of sending National Guard troops to other American cities, including New York and Chicago. This comes as the president could find himself in a legal battle over the Federal Reserve. That's after he fired Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook. In a letter on Monday, Trump wrote there was sufficient cause to believe Cook made false statements on one or more mortgage agreements. Cook fired back, saying the president has no authority to remove her from the independent Federal Reserve Board, and she is planning to take legal action.
Well, dramatic rescue at sea has 2 cruise ship passengers in the hospital this morning. The pair airlifted off that cruise ship after separate medical emergencies on Sunday. This video here shows one of those rescues right off the coast of Washington State. The Coast Guard says the 99-year-old man being rescued here suffered a life-threatening blockage. At the same time, crews also airlifted a 52-year-old woman who went into cardiac arrest. Both were aboard the Princess Cruises Ruby Princess ship. Multiple helicopters from the U.S. and Canada lifted them off of that cruise liner. Well, starting at 10 this morning, job seekers in Tampa Bay will have a chance to connect with dozens of employers at a career fair at Steinbrenner Field.
Yeah, right now the job market is showing some mixed signals. A slight uptick in the unemployment rate with more workers staying put. This is a trend known as job hugging.
Yeah, 10 Tampa Bay News reporter Christina Mendez is live in studio. Christina, here at home, a new study shows 3 cities in Tampa Bay are among the fastest growing economies in the country.
Yeah, good morning, Caitlin Jamison. The study by Co-working Cafe ranks Tampa #2 among mid-sized cities for economic growth from 2019 to 2023. But the most current data that we have this morning from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics reveals that Tampa Bay's overall unemployment rate sits at about 4%. That's near the national average. So from 10 to 2 at Steinbrenner Field, Job News is hosting a career fair with hundreds of openings. Some employers from tech to healthcare industries will hold interviews on the spot. It comes at a time when some economists say there's a rise in long-term job seekers, those who have been searching for a position for more than 6 months. Labor stats show some companies are pumping the brakes here, though, on hiring, adjusting to challenges like new U.S. tariffs and the rise of artificial intelligence. Now, the same study found St. Pete and Clearwater also ranked among the top six for small cities, and that is for growth. The Tampa mayor says city is, quote, proving to be one of the best places to live, work, and build a future. If you plan to go today, just make sure you have copies of your resume. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Christina. This morning, new details coming in about what is quite possibly one of the biggest engagement announcements in recent memory, including the well-kept secret that Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce have been engaged for 2 weeks. The two have been together for the past 2 years and have become one of the most well-known celebrity couples, I would say. Kelce's father.
Talking about their engagement for the last 2 years, too.
Yeah, like everybody's like, when's it coming? Well, here it is. Day's here. Kelce's father, Ed, told journalists the pair FaceTimed them right after Travis got down on one knee. Swift has a new album, a 12-track album, The Life of a Showgirl, coming out later this year. Kelce's football season kicks off next week, hopefully, you know.
She'll be in the stands.
Yeah, she'll be in the stands,
Not
of
in
course.
the stands. She'll be in the box.
Yeah, in the box, obviously, and everybody's going to point the cameras up there. The over-under usually, you know, at about 9 or 10 times that they're going to show her up in the box there.
Always like to see what she's wearing.
Yeah.
Something red.
Yeah.
All right, Labor Day weekend travel is about to take off, and new data shows that Tampa ranks among the most anxious cities for flying. We're talking about our Sarah Rosario.
Got some nervous travelers. And coming up in 10 minutes, what's behind the pre-flight jitters and what experts say you should do to calm your nerves when you're up in the air. Courtney?
Yeah, and the cold front we were tracking now stalled over the I-4 corridor. A few storms offshore south of Tampa there, but overall a much nicer day in store. I'll let you know who has the best chance for seeing a storm this afternoon, and of course have more on that Labor Day weekend forecast.
And we're seeing some traffic building along portions of I-4 this morning. Slow down. It's a little bit of a tight ride as we look at those drive times. We'll get a closer look at some other crashes and that and more. Back up to the break.
When you've been in a crash and your mind's racing.
When you've fallen in a store and are blaming yourself.
When you've been hurt at work and you don't know what to do. Or if you've been the victim of a medical mistake, we've got you. We've got what it takes to prove a case that the insurance companies can't ignore. With decades of experience and a track record of winning for our clients. Farah and Farah.
Windows are created and installed with different levels of quality. You need quality that can withstand the tropical climate. Our installers only install PGT custom windows and doors, so we are the go-to experts. Don't take my word for it. We have been named Best of Tampa Bay 3 years in a row, Reader's Choice in Sarasota 3 years in a row, and nationally recognized as Window and Door Dealer of the Year. Price is what you pay, but value is what you get. Give WeatherTight Windows a call today, and don't forget the cookies.
These big trucks are dangerous and fast. And when it comes to big truck wrecks, the stakes can be really high. That's why you need a lawyer that's gotten big results for his clients. Hi, I'm attorney Dan Newland. I've recovered billions of dollars for accident victims. So if you've been hit by one of these big trucks or involved in a car accident, call me now. Let me fight for you.
At 813-888-8000. That's 813-888-8000.
Before hurricane season hits, it's time to prep your home. Secure outdoor equipment and generators. Clear debris from around your AC unit and schedule a pre-storm HVAC and electrical inspection.
Those are some great tips, and Cool Today is here to help you weather the storm. For over 60 years, we've been here to help Floridians with their cooling, plumbing, and electrical needs. We can help you prepare, protect, and repair your home. Call 888-40 today.
Jeopardy is for everybody.
That's amazing. Oh, yeah.
With players just like you.
Paramedic, retired teacher, psychiatrist.
I'm a little bit competitive.
That's the spirit.
Watch their victories.
We have a giant killer.
And heartbreaks.
Oh, no.
The next super champion could be anyone.
It's almost like a superhero origin story.
It could be you.
Oh, wow.
It's all happening on Jeopardy!
Jeopardy weeknights at 7:30 right here on 10 Tampa Bay.
10 Tampa Bay Plus is pausing for pets this morning, helping local adoptable animals find their forever homes. I always love the photos here. Meet Joni from Hernando County. Animal Services says she's affectionate, calm, gentle, and is happiest when she's right by your side. She walks beautifully on a leash and loves enjoying some quiet time outside, too. I love all their smiles. Man, oh man. At 8 years old, she's past the puppy chaos, but still full of love and life, ready to bring joy to a lucky family. Hernando County Animal Services says bring your family members to meet her, 2 legs and 4, to visit and see how you get along, if she's a good match for you. Well, the shelter is open Monday to Saturday at 11 a.m. if you want to head over there and meet Joni and others. She's got a long tail.
Yeah, she
gotta
does.
watch coffee tables when tails are that long.
No coffee table is safe. No coffee cup is safe on the coffee table. All right, let's take you out to a live look in St. Petersburg. And this little line of clouds here, that is the remnants of a SpaceX launch that just happened. Our team here watched it blast off into space this morning, but look at the water. So calm. It's like glass. It's really tough to see, but if you squint your eyes extra hard, you can see a boat already out on the water. Great day to be out on the water today. 78 degrees to get the day started over in St. Petersburg. Our forecast trending a lot nicer today. No weather impact alert day to let you know about. Temperatures are across the Bay Area in the upper 70s to low 80s. North of the city, though, all along the Nature Coast, you're waking up to the upper 60s. Enjoy that. A nice little teeny tiny taste of fall. 71 in Wauchula this morning, 76 in Sarasota, 74 in Sebring. Here's that front that is ushering in some slightly cooler and slightly drier air across parts of the Gulf Coast region. And as this front stays stalled along the I-4 corridor, it is going to generate maybe a few showers and thunderstorms south of I-4 through the day today. But our forecast will gradually trend a little drier. Take a look at our dew points going into the afternoon. Tampa, you do have the potential for dew points to drop into the upper 60s. And no, that's not super fall-like. It's not super comfy and dry, but it is at least a little more comfortable. So it will make highs in the 90s today feel a little more tolerable. It's not going to feel more like the triple digits, but that front's going to dissipate through the day and through the night tonight, and dew points will go back into the mid 70s tomorrow. So it'll go back to business as usual for your Thursday. If you do want to get out on the water, this morning looks great. Of course, a few offshore storms over near Manatee and Sarasota counties, but the bay will be smooth. Seas at about 1 foot. Northeast wind 5 to 10 knots, or 1 foot, excuse me. Wind northeast at 5 to 10 knots today. Let's take you through Futurecast because, again, with that front stalled along the I-4 corridor, that will serve as a focal point for a few isolated storms to develop this afternoon for the evening commute, maybe near Lake Wales, over in Polk County, down in parts of Hillsborough County, Manatee and Sarasota County. Can't completely rule out an isolated storm. And then going into the day tomorrow, we'll have sea breeze showers and storms move inland, developing potentially across the Bay Area around your lunch hour, and then pushing east of I-75 for that afternoon and evening commute. But the rain chance tomorrow is still low at about 30%. So nothing that is necessarily a big deal. Just a few storms will start to redevelop for your Thursday as our humidity starts to increase again. 40% coverage of rain and storms on Friday, and then notice through your Labor Day weekend, rain chances between 50 to 70%. Sunday does look like the wettest day. Monday, which is of course Labor Day, still needs some work. We have another front that's going to move through, and these are tricky to forecast this time of year, especially far out. The GFS leaves Monday pretty much a washout with on and off showers and storms all day. The Euro has that front moving all the way through and potentially drying us out in the afternoon for your Labor Day Monday. So we'll be keeping a very close eye on that forecast for you because I know you're trying to make those weekend plans already. Mostly dry today and tomorrow, highs in the low 90s, increasing rain and storm chances through the Labor Day weekend holiday. And it looks like we'll be mostly dry going into next Tuesday.
All right, my friend, how are you doing? Are you having a good Wednesday, everyone? Let's look at the roads, shall we? If you're going to be driving along 275 or Gandy Boulevard approaching 275, you may not be having the best day right now, having to find another way around right now. It's closed. We've got an incident here that we've been telling you about. Good morning. I'm Sarah, and we got some traffic. Here's what it's looking like here for drivers as you're going to be headed along 275 this morning. Got some stop and go traffic here for our Pinellas County friends, not far from the Scandy Boulevard exit. Heads up about that and give yourself some extra time as you're going to be diverted around the area, and you can see these delays right now. Also, we got a crash here in South Tampa from overnight, from 2 o'clock this morning, and it's still causing some delays through this area. No word yet on what caused the crash, but it's at Del Mabry and Mango Avenue. So if you want to get around it, you can take Lois, you can take Manhattan, West Bay Avenue, Himes as an option for you to get around the hot mess we got going on for our friends in South Tampa. Fog is something we've been telling you about for our friends through Brooksville. Good morning, drivers through that area. If you're going to be taking State Road 50, you're not going to be dealing with much of that fog. 75 will be dealing with it 41 and some delays even on the Stone Coast Parkway this morning headed southbound towards Tampa. Once you're getting past State Road 52, you're going to be seeing that stop and go traffic for our drivers through that area. Nice start to the sunrise underway. Traffic slow moving here along 275 and I-4 if you're going to be driving right now. And a couple crashes we've been keeping our eyes on, as well as slowdowns. Lake Alfred 17. Yeah, you're tapping on your brakes. Also going to be tapping on the brakes through State Road 544 for my drivers through Polk. Got a crash here, Jesse Streets at 21st Street for drivers through Lakeland right now.
All right, Sarah, my girl, stay where you are because this one's for you. Okay. Labor Day weekend just days away, one of the busiest travel weekends of the year, and for some of you, Sarah Rosario included, comes with lots of stress and anxiety. She does not like to fly.
I don't. You know, we got medicine and prayers, and that helps
medicine
a lot.
and prayers. Well, a new study from Locals Insider shows that Tampa ranks among the top 20 cities, so you're not alone, Sarah, with the most anxious flyers. Here in the U.S., 56% of flyers say that they're afraid of the turbulence. 55% have trouble sleeping the night before their flight, and nearly 1/3 rely on alcohol or medication to calm nerves before they're boarding. Overall, flight-related anxiety is top of mind for nearly 3 in 4 Americans, and that's about 170 million adults. There are a few tips that'll help you out if you are one of those anxious flyers. Maybe you're traveling this weekend. Arrive early to give yourself some extra time to reduce stress and avoid last-minute panic. Sarah said that's not happening. She's usually cutting it close. Prep ahead, prepare ahead, pack the day before to help you avoid obsessive last-minute checking. Lastly, experts say skip the drinks. Alcohol may take the edge off initially, but it can actually worsen anxiety when you're in the air. Instead, stay distracted with plenty of entertainment. Maybe watch a movie, bring your iPad, read a book, music, podcasts, something to read. Best wishes and prayers, as Sarah says. Well, coming up, burnout is at an all-time high for doctors, and AI could be part of the cure here. A new study shows how it's helping doctors give more time to patients. We're going to look at those findings coming up next.
When the weather changes, you feel the impact. And you told us alerting you when the weather turns severe is the most important thing we can do. That's why 10 Tampa Bay is taking forecasting to the next level with Weather Impact Alert Days. So you'll know when to be alert, how the weather will impact your day, and how to keep your family safe.
Keeping you informed, prepared, and connected with Weather Impact Alert on 10 Tampa Bay and 10 Tampa Bay Plus.
Before hurricane season hits, it's time to prep your home. Secure outdoor equipment and generators. Clear debris from around your AC unit and schedule a pre-storm HVAC and electrical inspection.
Those are some great tips, and Cool Today is here to help you weather the storm. For over 60 years, we've been here to help Floridians with their cooling, plumbing, and electrical needs. We can help you prepare, protect, and repair your home. Call 888-40-TODAY.
Windows are created and installed with different levels of quality. You need quality that can withstand the tropical climate. Our installers only install PGT custom windows and doors, so we are the go-to experts. Don't take my word for it. We have been named Best of Tampa Bay 3 years in a row, Reader's Choice in Sarasota 3 years in a row, and nationally recognized as Window and Door Dealer of the Year. Price is what you pay, but value is what you get. Give WeatherTight Windows a call today, and don't forget the cookies.
These big trucks are dangerous and fast. And when it comes to big truck wrecks, the stakes can be really high. That's why you need a lawyer that's gotten big results for his clients. Hi, I'm attorney Dan Newland. I've recovered billions of dollars for accident victims. So if you've been hit by one of these big trucks or involved in a car accident, call me now. Let me fight for you.
At 813-888-8000.
That's 813-888-8000.
7:24 the time now. Let's look at what's making headlines in your health news. More than half of doctors right now here in the U.S. say that they are feeling burnt out, but a new study suggests AI could help. Research from Mass General, Brigham, and Emory Healthcare show that doctors who used AI programs to record patient visits and write up clinical notes say they experienced 21% less burnout. Study also suggests that AI's help with paperwork gives doctors more time to see their patients. Excessive so-called hidden fat can age your heart faster. A study in London found visceral adipose tissue, which is fat found deep in the abdomen around the stomach, intestines, and liver, is linked to accelerated aging of the heart and blood vessels. This type of fat can't be seen from the outside, meaning some people can have lots of visceral fat even if their weight is healthy. And scientists say they've identified a possible early warning sign of cognitive decline. A study published by the Society for Neuroscience found that as people age, some misread emotions and others as positive, even when their emotions are neutral or actually negative. Experts say this positive emotion bias is associated with changes in the brain linked to cognitive decline and neurodegeneration. Well, later this morning, a major milestone in Pinellas County. We're live with a program set to give families a safe place to stay and a fresh start to stability.
Keeping you informed, prepared, and connected. You're watching 10 Tampa Bay.
Good Wednesday morning. I'm Caitlin Lockerbie. An undocumented immigrant is in jail this morning after deputies say he fought and injured a federal officer. The sheriff's office says Dennis Miranda fought with federal officers when they tried to arrest him before running off. This happened Tuesday morning on Reynolds Road in Lakeland. Well, Polk deputies showed up and took him into custody. Right now, one of the federal agents involved is in the hospital. Miranda is facing multiple charges, including federal charges. Ahead of Labor Day weekend, traveling families are getting some relief at security at the airport. This week, the TSA at TPA launching its new Families on the Fly campaign. The change offers security lanes just for families with kids 12 and under. It gives those families extra space so they don't feel rushed and speeds up lines for other flyers. I checked this morning. Tampa is one of several airports rolling out the program, including Orlando and Jacksonville. Well, finally, some sunshine to start your morning. A look outside at 7:27. Here's Courtney Jacobazzi with your forecast.
Yeah, gorgeous start to the day. Temperatures in the mid to upper 70s across the Bay Area. Look at St. Petersburg, just beautiful this morning. The water like glass. We do have a cold front that stalled over the I-4 corridor, so a few offshore storms offshore of Manatee and Sarasota counties. Temperatures are in the mid to upper 70s around the Bay Area. Upper 60s, though, along the Nature Coast. A nice change. Mostly dry through the day today with highs in the low 90s. We will have increasing rain chances through your Labor Day weekend. We'll keep you posted on that forecast through the week.
I was driving when an 18-wheeler turned in front of me. I locked up my brakes, bam, slid dead into the truck. Bloody and hurt, I was loaded into an ambulance, and that's when I put out my phone and called Attorney Dan Newland. Dan jumped right on it. He was in my corner the whole way. He fought the fight from beginning to end and got me $1 million.
Involved in a car accident? Call me now at 813-888-8000.
Dan, your awesome team deserves 6 stars. Thank you for winning my case.
Weather impacts your life every day. I'm 10 Tampa Bay Chief Meteorologist Bobby Deskins. You can find out about any change in the weather with our 10 Tampa Bay Plus app. Just stream for the latest forecast, any weather impact alert, updated tropics forecast, and take a live look at the radar. Anytime you want, and it's free. It's just one more way we're helping you stay informed, prepared, and connected. Stream 10 Tampa Bay Plus.
And it's like a movie script. It's family rivalry, betrayal, and murder.
They cover America's most fascinating true crime stories.
One way or another, that's an execution.
Absolutely.
Every case.
Who would want to hurt him?
Every clue.
This is dynamite for an investigator.
Every mystery that keeps you guessing until the very end.
Does everyone's jaws drop?
Dateline, 5 times a week.
Watch weekdays at 4 on 10 Tampa Bay.
Windows are created and installed with different levels of quality. You need quality that can withstand the tropical climate. Our installers only install PGT custom windows and doors, so we are the go-to experts. Don't take my word for it. We have been named Best of Tampa Bay 3 years in a row, Reader's Choice in Sarasota 3 years in a row, and nationally recognized as Window and Door Dealer of the Year. Price is what you pay, but value is what you get. Give WeatherTight Windows a call today, and don't forget the cookies.
Welcome back to 10 Tampa Bay Plus, 7:30 on this Wednesday. Hump Day live look over Clearwater Beach to start you off this morning. A very pretty start out there. Finally, a nice sunrise for much of the Tampa Bay area. Drying out today before the rain comes back. It is rainy season after all.
Of course. Yeah.
I'm Caitlin Lockerbie.
We can take the break, though, today. I'm Jameson Euler here with traffic anchor Sarah Rosario.
Today's the day. We get outside, we go for
Yes.
a run, we just do all the things.
Absolutely.
You go for a run. I won't.
Get it done. we still have a rain chance, though, today,
Yeah.
slightly, but
Right.
yeah, it's not widespread rain like we saw for the last 5 days.
Right, yeah. Thankfully, a break, but Labor Day weekend is upon us.
Yeah.
So
We're watching that forecast very carefully. Unfortunately, it does look like rain chances will increase for that, but not a washout. So we'll have more details on that in just a little bit. Let's enjoy the beautiful start to the day while we can. A live look around. Tons of sunshine across the Bay Area. Look at Sarasota, mostly cloudy here. You're south of that front, so unfortunately, while a lot of us are going to reap the benefits of some slightly drier air, if you are south of Tampa, so Sarasota, Bradenton, you'll probably hold on to mostly cloudy skies today, and it will be pretty sticky for you. A little tough to see, but there's a rainbow peeking out there in Sarasota. I can see it, at least from my vantage point. Here's that front, a few offshore storms, but we are dry across the area this morning. Temperatures in the mid to upper 70s, 78 in Tampa right now. It looks like we're at 76 in Odessa. Look at Port Richey at 72, 74 in Plant City. Taking you up into the Nature Coast, you're in the upper 60s this morning. Enjoy that. It's been a while since we've had upper 60s. Dew points measures the amount of moisture in the air in the upper 60s along the Nature Coast, so that's a little more comfortable. It's not super fall-like and crisp and cool, but if you go closer to Tampa and the surrounding areas, dew points still in the low to mid 70s, but that's a little more comfortable than where we've been the last couple of days. Okay, if you weren't with us earlier this morning, we had to bring this back one more time because the school forecast, I know a lot of kids already on the bus, but if you're about to head out the door for school, Jameson and Caitlin got A's today, guys. 77, finally dry for the morning.
My average is up to a C+. I'm up to a C+ average now.
That's right, average, you're passing. 90 and mostly sunny for that ride home. An isolated storm possible today with those increasing rain chances for the weekend. I'll have more details on that for you shortly.
Y'all are so good. I love it. I had to. Seriously, we had homework yesterday. I could not. I need assistance. First grade. I'm like, don't ask me any questions. No, I just couldn't log into the program. So thank you for, yeah. Okay. Well, let's look at the roads. I'm better at that. If you're going to be driving right now, 275 at Roosevelt, we had a closure here because of a crash. Once you're getting off of 275 onto Gandy, that's where that crash is. And now it appears that drivers are able to get through the area. So heads up about that. You may still see a road ranger out there or two, as we see a couple. And once you're getting onto Gandy, maybe use caution, as there could be some more officers out there. We are seeing delays along 275 right now. And then Gandy Bridge itself is okay. Howard Franklin okay, as well as the Courtney Campbell Causeway. But again, southbound traffic may be impacted at this moment. We were tracking an earlier incident here at Del Mabry and Mango, and that appears to be clear. Traffic is building, though, along all of our majors right now, as far as I-4, I-275, and fog through portions of Hernando appears to be clear. Jameson, Caitlin.
All right, thanks, Sarah. It's a fun game to play, right? Are you smarter than a first grader?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it is. Especially when my kids come home, and they get the first grade homework, and you're like, I have no clue what they're asking here.
I'm gonna have to Google that. Let's ask ChatGPT. All right, in just 2 hours, it's the official opening of Metropolitan Ministries' first family shelter in Pinellas County.
Yeah, it's a program that will get 29 families off the streets and on the road to stability. 10 Tampa Bay News reporter Jenny Dean live for us this morning in St. Pete. And Jenny, even though today's the official opening, they are already helping families living there.
Right. As soon as they had rooms available to be able to take families, even though they're still putting finishing touches on the inside of the building, the shelter director tells me he wanted to be able to make a place for them. So they have 7 families inside there right now on the safety and security of that building. And by the time, as soon as the next room's ready, the shelter director tells me they're going to fill it right up. And they gave me a little preview yesterday so that I could take a look at the inside of it. So I want to show you some video. We actually were there when a family was checking in to this shelter and getting the services that they need. And that's really the difference with this particular facility, because it is only for families. Right now in Pinellas County, it's estimated that there are about 3,500 children that are homeless or considered to be living in what's called unstable conditions or situations. Now, when a family is taken in here at the shelter, it's expected to be a 3 to 6 month stay, but they get comprehensive support to be able to get them back on their feet and living independently.
Food, clothing, shelter. You can't concentrate on school. You can't concentrate on getting a job. You can't concentrate on your health care. You can't concentrate on a whole bunch of things if your constant worry is food, clothing, and shelter.
And this new residence, it is a partnership between Metropolitan Ministries and the St. Petersburg Free Clinic. And many of you might realize that it was a shelter before, but it was open only to single women. When Metropolitan Ministries partnered with the St. Pete Free Clinic, they were able to go in and do some major renovations, make the rooms much larger so that they could accommodate large families. So they'll be able to get more than 90 people or 29 families into safe, secure housing, making sure they have that shelter, that food, that safety, that security, making sure the kids can get off to school with a full belly. So many things that are so important in getting back to living successfully and independently. Now, the ribbon cutting, the official ribbon cutting is at 10 o'clock today. Of course, we'll be here and we'll let you know how it goes. We're live in St. Petersburg. Jenny Dean, 10 Tampa Bay News.
All right, Jenny, thank you. 7:36 right now. A 12-time convicted felon is locked up again. Deputies say he was caught with stolen guns in Tampa. The Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office says they started watching 44-year-old Christopher Newman at his home on East Sly Avenue after a tip that he was trying to sell firearms. On Sunday, deputies tried to stop him as he left his home on an e-bike with a large bag. Investigators say he took off, ditching that bag along the way. Inside the bag, investigators found a stolen rifle, a sawed-off shotgun, and ammunition you see right there. Newman faces multiple charges, including felon in possession of a firearm. Deputies say Newman was released from prison 5 months ago after serving time for burglary, drugs, and firearms offenses.
Well, this morning, deputies are still investigating the motives behind a murder-suicide that happened in Dunedin. They say family called for a welfare check at a home on Mac Charles Court Monday night after Charles Reed Jr. sent suicidal text messages. Deputies found his girlfriend, 42-year-old Sarah Bullitt, shot and killed. Moments later, they heard a gunshot from a bathroom and say they found Reed had shot and killed himself. Investigators say they found several notes threatening self-harm.
7:37 this morning, contract negotiations are underway with the new superintendent of Manatee County Schools. This after the school board approved Dr. Lori Breslin last night. Dr. Breslin is the mother of a student in the district and graduated from the district herself. She has experience as a high school teacher, assistant principal, and principal.
This is my home. It will forever be my home. I will, retire here in Manatee County, and so it means very much to me to see our school district be all that it can be.
The district has been without a superintendent since May when the school board voted to terminate Jason Wysong's contract. His removal followed leadership concerns after 2 Manatee County families filed lawsuits claiming their children had disturbing encounters with teachers at separate schools. There's one more step here. Before Dr. Breslin officially takes over the role, the board will vote on her new contract, which is expected to go before leaders on September 9th.
Well, as kids are getting ready for class this morning, some parents in Tampa are voicing concerns about the Florida Department of Transportation's order for the removal of student street murals outside Plant High School. Classes start there at 8:30 this morning. Students got permits to create the colorful street murals outside the high school. Advocates say the artwork improves safety for kids walking and biking to class by keeping cars away from crosswalks and narrowing traffic lanes.
It's very scary seeing out here that kids are going to have protections removed for them. This is a very apolitical. This is not making a statement other than that these students love their school.
During a visit to Tampa Tuesday, Governor DeSantis and FDOT secretary said even though they were previously permitted, a new law no longer allows them. Florida cities have until September 4th this morning to comply with FDOT's order. In total, there are about 400 street murals statewide that still need to be erased.
Well, Florida could be getting a new national park. Right now, Florida Congressman Randy Fine pushing to create the Florida Springs National Park. The proposal would merge the Ocala National Forest with nearby springs to form the park. If approved, it would become the 64th in the U.S. Supporters say the plan would provide stronger environmental protections and boost tourism by combining more than 40 state parks, forests, and refuges. I looked it up this morning. If this idea goes through, this would become Florida's 5th national park.
Yellowstone is preserved because they have the greatest concentration of geysers in the world. Well, we have the greatest concentration of springs. And for that reason, we thought that they should be protected.
Representative Fine's bill asked the National Park Service to study the merger, which could create the 3rd largest national park in the continental U.S.
Well, coming up on 10 Tampa Bay Plus this morning, from smaller portions to new formulas.
Yeah, how the rise in weight loss medications is impacting the food industry.
Plus, a major investment set to shine a spotlight on women's pro sports. Right here in Tampa Bay, in just minutes, we're live with a partnership that goes well beyond the field.
When you've been in a crash and your mind's racing.
When you've fallen in a store and are blaming yourself.
When you've been hurt at work and you don't know what to do.
Or if you've been the victim of a medical mistake, we've got you.
We've got what it takes to prove a case that the insurance companies can't ignore.
With decades of experience and a track record of winning for our clients.
Farah and Farah.
Discover the magic of a beautifully organized home during our Shades of Summer promotional event. Transform your space with vibrant, uplifting colors designed to boost your mood year-round. And enjoy savings up to 20% on our favorite summer-inspired finishes. Whether it's your garage, home office, or bedroom, California Closets Tampa Bay will create a stylish, expertly organized space just for you. Get started today by visiting one of our conveniently located showrooms or booking your complimentary design consultation at CaliforniaClosetstampaBay.com.
Weather impacts your life every day. I'm 10 Tampa Bay Chief Meteorologist Bobby Deskins. You can find out about any change in the weather with our 10 Tampa Bay Plus app. Just stream for the latest forecast, any weather impact alert, updated tropics forecast, and take a live look at the radar. Anytime you want, and it's free. It's just one more way we're helping you stay informed, prepared, and connected. Stream 10 Tampa Bay Plus.
I was rear-ended by a reckless driver. I called attorney Dan Newland and he got me $500,000. And that money is really gonna help me.
As one of the largest personal injury law firms in the United States, my team and I remain committed more than ever to win big on your case. Involved in a car accident? Let's get started. Call me at 813-888-8000. That's 813-888-8000.
Dan, your team was awesome. Thank you for winning my case.
Here are the stars of our show.
I am your host, Ryan Seacrest.
The wheel you love is back.
Yes! Let's have some fun.
This season will truly be unlike any other.
This has never happened before on Wheel of Fortune.
With bigger trips.
Yeah, baby.
Bigger prizes.
I'd love to take you backstage to the iHeartRadio Music Festival.
And bigger surprises.
There it is.
What a great show!
Let's do it again tomorrow.
Wheel, weeknights at 7 on 10 Tampa Bay.
Welcome back at 7:42. A big investment is about to shine a new light on women's professional sports right here in Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay Sun Football Club, the reigning Super League champs, are teaming up with a local financial giant to make a statement that goes far beyond the field. 10 Tampa Bay News reporter Nick Voltore joining us live in Tampa this morning with a preview of what's expected to be a game-changing announcement. Good morning, Nick.
Jameson, good morning. Yeah, the Tampa Bay Sun, they're not just stacking trophies, they're truly stacking momentum, because in just a few hours, the Suncoast Credit Union will transform into a sea of Sun Gold as executives, coaches, players all gather here as they're expected to make a big announcement that merges a huge deal that will transform women's sports right here in Tampa Bay. Now, the Tampa Bay Sun, Florida's first women's pro sports team, are teaming up with Suncoast Credit Union in a mega deal that includes stadium naming rights, exclusive ticket perks for members, and support for local students. Now, the headquarters, it will be taken over by the team this morning. They're going to have flags, gear, and tons of championship energy that will be filling the lobby. And while details don't really drop until 10:30, the message is clear. This isn't just a sponsorship. It's a stand for the future of women's sports right here in Tampa Bay. And there's word of a special surprise for a local high school that's going to make that announcement have even more meaning. But of course, this is the dawning of a new day as the sun out here rises on a new era for women's sports right here in Tampa Bay. We'll bring you all the latest as that comes available. For right now, reporting live in Tampa, Nick Volturo, 10 Tampa Bay News.
All right, Nick, thank you so much. And talking about the sun,
yes,
we finally get to see some.
Oh my goodness, a long time coming, what it feels
yeah,
like.
It feels like forever.
Right, so the rain mostly stopping today.
Yeah.
Some people waking up in the 60s this morning, which
just got to drive north.
Yeah, got to go all the way up to the nature coast, but still overall a nice start to the day. I want to kind of backtrack a little bit and talk about the rainfall we picked up so far this month. Almost 10 inches of rain for the month of August. This is at TPA. Last year, though, we picked up 17.78 inches of rain. Of course, we had Debbie parallel the coast. That brought a lot of rain to the Bay Area last year. Now, we are a far cry from the record. The record over 18.5 inches of rain set back in 1949, but we will be thankful to not add any more to that 9.75 inches of rain, about 3/4 of those just over the last few days. 78 in Tampa. Look at the glass water. I already see a couple people out there. St. Pete, beautiful sunrise coming up. Sarasota, mostly cloudy skies. The further south of the city you go, you will unfortunately still be left in that really humid air mass, and you'll hold on to those mostly cloudy skies. Most of the area today, though, will see more sunshine. Temperatures to get your Wednesday started: 78 in Tampa, 81 in St. Pete, 71 in Wauchula, 72 in Dade City. Look at Brooksville at 68 degrees, feeling a teeny tiny bit like fall. And that's as some cooler and slightly drier air ushering in along this front that's stalled over the I-4 corridor. A few storms offshore right now off of Anna Maria Island down towards Manatee and Sarasota counties. The marine forecast looking a lot better today. If you are heading out down south off of Anna Maria Island, just be mindful of those storms. But smooth on the bay, seas at about a foot, northeast wind 5 to 10 knots. A much nicer boating forecast for the day today, and we'll hold on to pretty calm waters even into tomorrow. High temperatures today, low 90s with more sunshine coming out. Temperatures will be warmer. We've been in the 80s for the last several days, mostly dry, and it will be slightly more comfortable. Dew points will continue to drop through the day. That's the moisture in the air. So while it's not going to be super fall-like, it'll be at least a little more comfortable, making the low 90s a little more bearable. South of that front, so mainly along south that I-4 corridor, we will watch for a few isolated storms this afternoon for the evening commute over in Polk County, maybe Hillsborough County, down towards Manatee and Sarasota counties as well. Will be mostly dry overnight. Tomorrow, that front's going to dissipate and it'll be back to business as usual. We'll have some sea breeze showers and storms develop over the Bay Area around your lunch hour and then push inland throughout the afternoon. Mostly dry, though, rain coverage tomorrow, still at about 30%. So for football, college football is back in Tampa tomorrow. Boise State at USF, kickoff at 5:30, 92 degrees. It'll be pretty warm and muggy with maybe an isolated storm. And I can't go without bringing my alma mater into the mix as well. Go Knights. UCF plays tomorrow as well in Orlando. 7 o'clock kickoff, isolated storms if you are headed across I-4 into Orlando. Your Labor Day weekend, we will increase rain chances. Not a washout, but afternoon scattered storms possible Saturday. Highest rain chance on Sunday. Sunday on and off showers and storms do look likely. Now for your Labor Day Monday, we have a 50% rain chance right now. We do have the potential that a front actually makes it all the way through and ushers in some drier air and ultimately brings that rain chance down. So for your Labor Day, it does look like we have the potential for a drier day. We'll be watching that for you carefully. Your 7-day forecast showing mostly dry today and tomorrow. Slightly increasing rain chances for Friday, and then an unsettled Labor Day weekend forecast. Not a complete washout, but Sunday definitely want to make indoor plans. Temperatures for Sunday all the way through Tuesday back in the mid to upper 80s.
All right, let's get a look at the road, shall we? Good morning. Hope your day is going wonderful. All right, if you're going to be driving along 275, we've got a slow down here. Here's what it's looking like right now. Slow moving speeds. If you were going to be getting off at Gandy Boulevard, we did have an incident that is now appears to be clearing the way for Gandy. If you're going to be getting off 275 to Gandy, you can get on. No word yet if the actual incident on Gandy is actually clear, but there was an active investigation underway tying drivers up through that area. You can see we got a lot of red, miles of delays right now, and that's what we're seeing all across the Bay Area as well. 275 southbound impacted there near Gandy Boulevard. And then check out some places where we're seeing some slowdowns in addition to fog. So increase your following distance, slow down this morning. Wesley Chapel, friends, Zephyr Hills, 301, 75, 275, 41, 54, all seeing a lot of people tapping on their brakes right now. So give yourself some time, find a good podcast, some tunes, and just enjoy the ride. 41 right now, if you're going to be headed through that area through Hillsborough County, we're seeing some slow moving speeds here. If you're going to be driving in and around the casino, we got a lot of traffic there as well. So heads up for my drivers through that area. Plant City drivers, you're going to be seeing some slow moving speeds. Headed towards USF this morning, a lot of traffic, miles of delays actually along I-75 southbound right now from that 275 area all the way up until you're getting to I-4. Jameson?
All right, thank you, Sarah. The rise in use of GLP-1 drugs to help treat diabetes and aid in weight loss isn't just impacting how people eat. Research shows it's changing the food industry
The
together.
meatballs are the hottest thing on the menu at Tucci Restaurant.
My grandmother's. They're the best meatballs in New York.
But earlier this year, owner Max Tucci said he noticed some customers not clearing their plates.
People came in and said, I can't finish all this, I want something smaller.
At first, they were very shy about saying they were on Ozempic. Now they're like, I'm on Ozempic. Can I have one meatball instead of 3?
As diners became more open about using GLP-1 weight loss medication, Tucci downsized some menu items.
Now let's do 1 instead of 3.
What we're seeing is that people are eating differently.
It's not just about smaller portions. Sherry Frey with consumer research firm Nielsen IQ says their studies show GLP-1 users moving away from foods in the junk food category and toward choices touting fiber, gut health, soothing digestion, hydration, and protein.
They're definitely driving a lot of the trends we're seeing around muscle health in particular.
The food industry is responding. Last year, Nestle launched a GLP-1 focused frozen food line. Meal delivery company Cook Unity is marketing GLP-1 balanced meals. On store shelves, redesigned packaging highlights in-demand nutrients and resealable containers.
The consumer may still want a sweet, but they want a little bit less.
In 2024, about 1 in 8 American adults said they'd tried GLP-1s, according to a Kaiser Family Foundation survey. 6% were actively using the medication.
GLP-1s helped me lose 31 pounds.
In late August, tennis superstar Serena Williams became the latest big name to open up. At Tucci, they're embracing offering smaller portions.
It's a win-win where we're not throwing food out, our client is happy.
Serving up the taste with less food waste. Jared Hill, CBS News, New York.
Well, you may have heard people say that you should walk 10,000 steps a day, but in just minutes, we show you the new research that says you can benefit from even less. As we take a live look outside on this Wednesday morning at 7:51 in Lakeland, another check of your forecast coming up in just minutes. You're watching 10 Tampa Bay Plus.
Weather impacts your life every day. I'm 10 Tampa Bay Chief Meteorologist Bobby Deskins. You can find out about any change in the weather with our 10 Tampa Bay Plus app. Just stream for the latest forecast, any weather impact alert, updated tropics forecast, and take a live look at the radar. Anytime you want, and it's free. It's just one more way we're helping you stay informed, prepared, and connected. Stream 10 Tampa Bay Plus.
Jeopardy is for everybody.
That's amazing. Oh, yeah.
With players just like you.
Paramedic, a retired teacher, psychiatrist.
I'm a little bit competitive.
That's the spirit.
Watch their victories.
We have a giant killer.
And heartbreaks.
Oh, no.
The next super champion could be anyone.
It's almost like a superhero origin story.
It could be you.
Oh, wow.
It's all happening on Jeopardy!
Jeopardy weeknights at 7:30, right here on 10 Tampa Bay.
I was driving when an 18-wheeler turned in front of me. I locked up my brakes, bam, slid dead into the truck. Bloody and hurt, I was loaded into an ambulance, and that's when I put out my phone and called attorney Dan Newton. Dan jumped right on it. He was in my corner the whole way. He fought the fight from beginning to end and got me $1 million.
Involved in a car accident?
Call me now at 813-888-8000.
Dan, your awesome team deserves 6 stars. Thank you for winning my case.
Before hurricane season hits, it's time to prep your home. Secure outdoor equipment and generators. Clear debris from around your AC unit and schedule a pre-storm HVAC and electrical inspection.
Those are some great tips. And Cool Today is here to help you weather the storm. For over 60 years, we've been here to help Floridians with their cooling, plumbing, and electrical needs. We can help you prepare, protect, and repair your home. Call 888-40-TODAY.
Welcome back. Many people have probably heard that you're supposed to at least walk 10,000 steps a day to help stay healthy. But new research shows you can see benefits with even less. Doctors have seen benefits from steps as low as 3,500 to 5,000. Walking can help lower your blood pressure, blood sugar levels, cholesterol, and can strengthen your muscle and bones. Walking is convenient too, since it can be done everywhere. For example, if you're at work, you could always take a couple of laps around the office or walk outside during lunch. You could also take the stairs instead of the elevator, and speed doesn't matter either.
Walking is really a very sustainable means to incorporating exercise. And if you want to build on top of that, certainly. I love running. I love biking. I think all those activities are great. And your heart really doesn't care what you do, as long as you do something that is enough to help that heart rate come up, help your blood pressure appropriately rise, help you get a little bit of a sweat, challenge your body. And if you can do all of that with walking, why not?
If you have an injury or some other medical condition you're concerned about before you walk, go ahead and consult with your physician. If you think you're not a runner, think again. The Tampa Bay Run Club is turning the idea of running on its head with a lighthearted vibe and no pressure. Why that group is attracting people who never thought they'd lace up their sneakers. Plus, today, dozens of employers are ready to meet with job seekers in Tampa. We're live as Tampa Bay lands 3 cities on the list of fastest growing economies in the country.
Keeping you informed, prepared, and connected. You're watching 10 Tampa Bay.
And good Wednesday morning. I'm Jamison Euler. Right now, the Tampa family of a Palestinian American boy is pleading for his release from an Israeli jail. Mohammed Ibrahim's family says he has spent the last 6 months in custody after being charged without a crime. He was visiting family in the West Bank for Muslim holidays in the spring. His family says one night, Israeli soldiers came into a home, blindfolded the 16-year-old and took him to jail. They say they're worried because the U.S. Embassy told them he's losing weight and is in poor health. Congresswoman Kathy Castor posted on X urging for Ibrahim's release. Right now, former USF head coach for football Jim Leavitt facing charges in Pinellas County, accused of battery involving his ex-girlfriend. On Tuesday, he was granted a $7,000 bond. St. Pete police say the 68-year-old stole his former partner's Louis Vuitton purse and forcefully grabbed her arm when she tried to get away. Police say Leavitt then pushed another man. He was arrested Monday night. This morning, he's charged with simple battery, domestic battery, and grand theft. Let's go ahead and get a first check of that forecast this morning with meteorologist Courtney Jacobazzi. Courtney.
Yeah, much nicer day today. No weather impact alert day to let you know about. A front currently stalled along the I-4 corridor. So you can see south of this front offshore, we do have a few storms, and notice cloudier skies over near Bradenton and Sarasota. That'll be the case through the day, but north of Tampa to the north, tons of sunshine out there through the day. Upper 70s to start the morning. If you live along the Nature Coast, you're waking up in the upper 60s. A nice start to what will overall be a mostly dry day. Mid 80s by 11. We'll head into the low 90s today. Just a 20% chance for an isolated storm, mainly south of Tampa today. Increasing rain chances, unfortunately, on the way for your Labor Day holiday weekend.